The only thing I would push back on that, because you're talking about me.
Not you, but like.
No,
like
you
whoever.
are. No,
Okay.
you are. Because
Okay.
before I moved to Thailand, I literally was in Buckhead, Atlanta, had the exact same show, exact same thing, with a whole bunch of women and going crazy, doing all that crazy shit. You don't think that age plays a factor in whether a man finds you attractive or not attractive?
Almost everyone I've dated is younger than me, so.
What the fuck? You're just saying outliers. You're just saying stuff that doesn't make sense. Because again, do you think? Okay, let me just ask you a question. Do you think that most women date men that are younger than them? Thank you.
You need to know about the gender wage gap. Women are paid less than men.
No. So
You know what I'm saying?
what you're doing is just looking at the title and not actually diving deep into
you
why
wanna click on
women. Hold on, no. We're going to get there. We're going to go there. But right now we're just scratching the surface.
Cool.
A lot of times what they do is just they get most of everybody, meaning like all men and all women. They don't account for hours worked. They don't account for experience, etc., etc. They don't account for a lot of.
Yeah, and that's most older women have this experience. Yeah, younger men will bang them, but they ain't going to marry them, and they ain't going to be with them long term. You can't give them kids, and so they end up dumping you. That's what happens. In fact, this gal next to you said she had that very experience. She dated a younger man, and he decided, I actually want kids, and you can't give them to me. These are some big, that's all, by the way, all of that is baggage, all of it. You can't give them kids, that's baggage. If you have kids, that's baggage. If you XYZ, that's all baggage. It's not just, I have an ex-husband and I have 3 children. It's, I'm older, that's baggage 1. It's, I have 3 children, that's baggage 2. I can't give you children, that's more baggage. All of this is baggage.
There is something, and this has been something you've been suffering from all night, called cognitive dissonance and a inability to grasp what is reality. There is no fucking universe in which you are an 8. Now, the thing is that's not me being mean either. I'm just giving you objective reality. That is an objective standard that there's nobody on planet Earth who would disagree with that standard.
Okay, go ahead. Give me your thoughts. I know your mind over here thinking. Go ahead.
I mean, I think she's attractive.
No, give me your thoughts over the whole video.
Over like the whole video. I think everyone was pretty honest. I don't think anyone was trying to. I mean, if that's how you see yourself, that's how you see yourself. I didn't think anyone there was like ugly either.
At the end of the day, really just, no, I'm not going to submit to a man because that's the ideal, that's what society wants, and I will not give society what it wants. Period! I'd love just cheering on a woman. She could say the craziest shit and I'd be like, go Bryn. But don't use that as my political views because I don't agree with that at all. Let's make that clear.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm voting. Is it not the role of someone with experience, even flawed experience, to guide others? The core of this debate revolves around whether it's hypocritical to advise against dating single mothers while dating a single mother oneself. At first glance, this might seem contradictory, but let me offer this perspective. When a smoker warns others not to smoke, do we dismiss their advice as hypocritical? Hold on, Jazz, hold on. Just listen now. You can rebuttal all you want, but just let me finish.
Okay, finish.
Damn, you made me forget what it was. Oh, we see it as wisdom. No, we do not. We see it as wisdom of someone who knows the consequences firsthand. So why would we suddenly apply a double standard here? Does this current behavior invalidate the truth of their insight, or does it make caution even more compelling? You are putting a negative connotation on that word based on the society that you lived in.
Society puts a negative connotation.
Exactly, and you adopted that thinking that that's the correct when it's not. Just like earlier when we had a conversation about manipulation, it's not bad or good. It's dependent on that person in that situation. Here's why. Most of the time, women that are like you, that actually have a good mindset, that knows morals, etc., they don't like to come on these types of shows. You're not incentivized to come on these types of shows. Like, you had a friend invite you to this type of shows because most of the time, probably, unless you're trying to promote a OF or a brand or a business, etc., you have no incentive to go on those types of shows.
Like, my dad was in Vietnam. Shout out to my dad. Seriously,
you.
big time. But I feel like, and obviously times are changing today, so there's like a lot of women, there's a lot of transgender people that are going into the, I think it doesn't matter what your gender is. I think it takes
the degree of guts. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. And also
Gotcha.
when it comes down to being like president or something, I don't think, in my opinion, I get what you're saying, but like, I don't think it has anything to do with gender. I don't think it has anything to do with the popularity contest of, just for example, Trump and Kamala. It wasn't about who's more likable. It's about who can freaking do what we need to be done in this country. You know what I mean? Like,
I got you.
Boom. I was gonna say that.
I got you.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I think
I gotta
down
say,
to that.
for me, it is about gender. Until that equals out somehow.
Yeah.
It is about gender for me personally.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I see where you're coming from.
Let's
Because
continue.
I mean, I didn't vote for Kamala. You know, what I mean, just because she's a female, you got to be qualified.
Equal rights
You know,
in the
gotta be
United States.
qualified.
No comment.
No,
We're
I
not
know.
against anybody,
But now I'm asking
in
a
general,
fucking
whoever it is,
question.
you have to have, you
You-
gotta be qualified,
Do
male
you
or
think
female,
that women do have equal rights in the United States compared to men?
for the most part.
Correct.
Same with you.
I guess it also depends on state because there's state
What
laws
state?
and there's national laws. Like,
Okay.
for example, women's
Let her cook.
right to equal
No,
pay,
let her cook.
That can be
That's
different.
that's a law.
She's out of
Yeah,
ingredients.
Different. What I'm saying is that could be different from state to state versus national.
What does that mean?
Because the child is theirs, it's their blood. They have the right to say that, like, if they adopt a kid with a woman and they eventually don't want to be with the woman, that woman can take the kid and leave. You got no
Okay.
ties. But, like, if that kid, it comes from your blood,
Yeah.
that's your kid. So you have a right in the say.
Okay. So what's bad about that?
Why do you need that much control? Like, that's
Why do you not?
If you want a kid that bad, it shouldn't matter if the kid is your blood or not.
Why is control a negative thing?
Because not everything can always be in your control. Life is uncontrollable.
Well, that is true.
Period. Like, nothing is in your total control. Like, you know, like, you may think it is, and you may have control over certain things, but there's always something that you're going to lack control in, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I would agree, but the things that you can control, why would you not control them, and why would that be a bad thing if you do control them?
Because if you're controlling things that are harming other people, and it's only beneficial for yourself, it's really only a one way.
Okay. But what's your definition of harm? How do you quantize that or quantify it?
If you're controlling someone to do your bidding, if you're controlling someone to do or live a life that you want them to live to fit your like ideal partner or ideal person, then that's negative. That's like harming a person and taking away their individuality.
It's not conservative to say that I would defend my country if we went to war because I agree with the values of American values, and I think that's worth defending if it were to come to war. But at the same time, I don't think it's a mark of a good society where women and children are protected and they're not sent to the front lines like they're doing in Ukraine right now.
Do you know the definition of submission?
Not me.
But do you know the definition?
Like, trying to think of it without putting the word submitting in it.
Yeah, take your time.
So I guess kind of like
You can have a conversation. Let's go. No, if you want to say you're going to join in, you can
giving your all to someone, almost like kind of like.
No, so the definition is to submit. So for
This
example,
motherfucker.
It literally had the word in it. That's not a definition.
but no, I'm gonna give you.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna elaborate. I'm sorry. So go ahead. So submission is I'll give you an example.
You said women disagree that women have equal rights to men. It was also Hannah. It was Tierra.
We're ignoring mine now. Remember?
Oh, I guess.
Ignore mine.
It was
Hannah.
Yeah,
so,
no, I'm just like.
a quick question for those of you who did say you disagree that women have equal rights to men. What rights do
Oh yeah.
men
Before even, do you think that men and women have equal rights?
Currently, not always. I don't know.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. Women aren't always treated fair today. I mean, men neither. But like, I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I think we've come a long way for sure. But
Okay.
like, you know what I mean? So.
What would you say that? What are some rights that women have that men have that women don't have?
So I'm pretty sure in some places, you know, men still get a higher pay than women. That's pretty shitty. You know what you ask me? We work just as hard and look better while we do it. You know what I mean?
Okay. So hold on. I want to be clear. You think that companies are paying men the same exact with the same exact qualifications, with the same exact work ethic, with the
Same
same
position.
exact experience,
Yeah.
everything all being equal.
Everything's same, just gender
They
different.
paying them just more because they have a penis.
I said a 5.5. I still have.
But I didn't say
I think that's
anything was
what's
wrong with your answer.
Yeah, facts.
Well, you said everyone seems to be delusional, so I was just like, all right, I'm open
He's speaking
to
generally,
criticism on that one. So
Yeah, but do you actually believe you're $5.5? Like, honestly? Do you honestly think that you're a 4? So I'm a 4 objectively, right? Maybe less. I understand that. Like that's objective reality.
There's so many women that I've seen over 10 years still be the exact same way they was 10 years ago. There's so many people
but that also
in
could
general.
apply to literally anyone and anything. But
Yes.
there also is plenty of women who have gotten their shit together and who have changed completely. So
Which I agree with, but which one do you think is the majority? The ones that literally change and evolve and grow past the trauma and the trauma don't affect them no more, etc., or the ones that still stuck in their ways and they had the trauma affect them, etc. Which one do you think is the majority?
No, they should speak, but
Okay,
they shouldn't be. Listen, that's like saying let me find a good example here.
Okay. If you pulled him to the side and you was like, hey, now that you're a high value man, quote unquote,
Yeah.
would you still date her given you could reset as everything resets? And he says, no, I wouldn't. You know, I'm a high value man now. I wouldn't be able to get her. I mean, I would be able to get someone better, etc. Versus, I was 25. I think he was 25. I didn't have that much money. I wasn't making no money. I was not a high value man at that time. And I had my own kid. Mm-hmm. Would you change your mind then?
No, because if you were so valuable, then why not choose up now? These guys.
That doesn't make sense.
Listen, you guys get on the internet talking about.
And move up just a little bit so you can be more in the.
Like, I'm a high value man now, and these women don't care about if you have kids. It makes you a better option. Really? Then go get you a woman who ain't got no kids. That is the better option, but you can't because you're a liar. And you're embarrassing yourself.
So much on your neck right now. This is crazy.
Because that's like you're a jokey joke, boy. Like, be serious. Be
no.
for real. Like, be a man. Stand up. You don't even put the ring. You got this woman being a baby mama again. You ain't even want to marry her. You're sick.
No, I can name multiple things that women have that men don't have.
I mean, we're able to be president today. I know that's like a corny, typical, general one, but it's like
don't get me started because I got a hot take. I ain't even
gonna get it.
I don't think women should be able to be president.
I didn't vote for Kamala for a reason, not because I'm like.
Hold on, I want to be clear with my position. Hold on, I want to be clear with my position.
I can talk about that.
Hold on, I want to be clear with my position before this get fucking clipped.
Right.
I don't believe a woman should be able to be president until women have to sign up for select service.
What? Okay, hold on. Okay. Select service.
So select service is when you were a man, you hit 18, you sign up for select service when you get your driver's license, etc. Right. It's a draft, basically.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Women don't have to get drafted. Not at all. Not at all.
If we want to be equal, I get what you're saying. If we want to be equal, let's all make. I get that, and. It's interesting. I feel that's an interesting point because
or something equivalent to that, because I don't think obviously women are not going to be. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. I think most women are not going to want to join. Number two, definitely not going to be in front lines. We're not going to put them in front lines. No, it's not happening.
And theoretically.
So something equivalent to that would have to happen before I can be like, okay, cool.
And so I want to say real quick, I commend anybody who wants to run for president or anybody who has the guts to go to war, and I know that's kind of like broad, but still I think about that all the time, and I be watching
fight in the war.
You gotta have some guts to be able to sign up to go give your life. You know what I mean? Risk your life like that, seriously. And majoritively men are the ones seriously.
Even though y'all may not agree with how he said it.
No, because this goes back to all women good for is giving birth to kids. So the definition of baggage is the feelings, beliefs, problems, or past events that can make life difficult for a person or group. Okay, so that's a definition of baggage. Great. I'm glad we all got that out of the way. He's talking about an older woman not being able to have kids. What about the younger women that are infertile? That's considered baggage? No, by the way. That's considered a horrible thing that this woman is going through and has to suffer with for the rest of her life, because most people that are infertile are fucking devastated.
I think we live in a world that we are trying to find fairness. We're trying to find what's fair for a woman, what's fair for a man, what's fair for a gay, what's fair for a straight, what's fair for them, etc. We're trying to find fairness. And I don't think it's fair that men and women can make a decision, but only the men would have the consequences of that decision.
That's valid.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
What do we really ever need to be protected from? Oh, that's right, other men.
No. Well, yes, other men and yourself.
myself.
Eight.
If you
Goodbye.
No, she didn't.
No.
Eight.
If you
She
don't love
didn't.
yourself and can't work through your
Overcooked.
stuff by yourself, okay, no.
That shit burnt. Go ahead.
You can't be with someone if you can't love yourself and work through your own stuff.
No, that's not even what I'm referring to. What I'm more so referring to is what we actually talked about earlier, which is the man setting the boundaries that you necessarily may not agree with, but it makes the relationship better overall or long term overall. Does that make sense?
They were
Oh my
trying
God,
to
he
recruit
crashing out
women
on
because they've been
camera.
running
Y'all
solo
gotta
and
stop.
soldiers.
He's not necessarily crashing out. I think the more so the perspective is that she's saying maybe some truths and then some lies and then some truths and then some lies, and it's coming across as just crazy. Okay, I'll grant that.
Okay.
But normally or generally speaking, when they say rate yourself from 1 to 10, they're typically talking about your physical attributes as a woman or as a man.
Okay.
So out of those attributes of being physical, rating now we're on the same page, what would they be?
I think how your body is, like if you take care of like your body, because I think beauty can differ, you know, I don't think really like butt size, chest size, like fully matters about beauty. I don't think it does.
I didn't say it didn't. Go ahead, continue talking.
I don't think it does.
Wrong.
Shout out to Donald J. The fuck? Cause I'm about to be using this the rest of this video. Go ahead. You saying that ass and titties don't matter in rating scales of 1 to 10 of attractiveness?
Are you talking about if they're rating themselves, or are you talking about just like anyone rating them?
Okay, I'm gonna try this again. When someone, generally speaking, says, I want you to rate yourself from 1 to 10, generally they are talking about your physical attributes or how you look, generally speaking.
Okay.
But I would agree wholeheartedly that definitely we would want more women like you that's maybe educated, that might be from different places, different locations, etc. So that way we can have real perspective. I don't know about them, but me personally, I love real conversations. I love having real perspectives. I love hearing people out.
Just based on looks, I don't know. I think I'm pretty. I'm satisfied with myself. I have pretty eyes. I have a nice nose. I have straight teeth. Okay. I think that's all. I feel like that's pretty like generic, but I feel like that's a good 8.
Okay. That's all.
Maybe like a 6.
Okay.
9. 7. 7. 10 in Jesus' eyes.
Yeah. I think, you know, not to be sounding like a feminist, because I'm not like some ultra feminist girl, but. You know,
I think this is the exact video too.
Women
this is
should
crazy.
vote.
Okay,
women have all autonomy. They've got brains, and they also live in this country, even though they're not drafted. See, the thing is, if you get drafted, you're not here. So everything that you're voting for, you're not even experiencing. The people who are experiencing it are left behind with whatever it is you thought was smart. So I think everyone should have a part in what is thought to be intelligent.
I think when you're in a relationship, there is no individuality. It's both of y'all. You're a team. Now, one of y'all may be the captain, and typically that is the breadwinner, and that's typically the man. So that's why I go that route. But just like I told you earlier, if the woman was the one that made all the money and she had the wherewithal, competency, etc., then she should be the one that's making the decisions.
I support it if it's a woman.
Girl boss.
Women should vote equal to men's vote. But women cannot be drafted and thus can't
Oh,
vote
see,
for
this is
gender.
my argument already. So we was talking about this before the video even played. Go ahead. Go say what you were saying before I started the video.
Well, yeah, we made a comment that you don't think women should vote.
Yeah, but what was my, hold on, I want to be clear in my position because I don't want to get misconstrued.
Sure.
Specifically president, specifically Congress.
Right.
Continue on.
And I think that's crazy.
Why?
Because we're human beings. You know, I would like to equate this to like the 3/5 rule. I think that gets kind of sticky. But you know, because of the law this time, we can't draft them. Well, I guess they could. They did draft them at that time. Yeah, they drafted black people at that time. But because we don't consider them full human, no voting for you. And I think, you know, not to be sounding like a feminist, because I'm not like some ultra feminist girl, but You know,
I think this is the exact video too.
Women
This is
should
crazy.
vote.
Okay,
women
so
have all autonomy. They've got brains, and they also live in this country, even though they're not drafted. See, the thing is, if you get drafted, you're not here. So everything that you're voting for, you're not even experiencing. The people who are experiencing it are left behind with whatever it is you thought was smart. So I think everyone should have a part in what is thought to be intelligent.
Let's cook. 'Cause we already cooked somebody before about this. Let's cook another one. Here we go.